How's it going, guys? I'm Connor from Running Warehouse. Today I'm here with Danny Orr. He's the General Manager of Performance Running at New Balance. And today we're diving in deep on the More series. In my hand, we've got the More V3. Danny's got the Mortrow V2. Danny, so much to talk about the More series. I feel like there's always been potential, but it's never quite been where I personally wanted it. But now with these new versions, the whole brand has been completely elevated. Give us a little rundown on what is new with these shoes.
Yeah, I think what I'd start by saying is that we're incredibly excited about the More V3 and the Trail V2. I think the biggest changes, maybe starting with the road shoe, is really we did a ton of fact finding on exactly how we wanted that midsole setup to be. And again, we looked at exactly what compounds we felt would make the biggest difference in this max cushioning space. I think if you started with the bottom and you looked at the underside of it, Connor, you'll see that we've created a lot of channeling. We've created a lot of areas for that midsole to move and decouple directly underneath the foot, which has added a ton in terms of the overall softness. We're then using our Fresh Foam X compound, and I think what's important when you're thinking about max cushioning and the level of softness that you have there is making sure that we have the right width in terms of that overall platform to provide this user with the level of stability that they need in a really, really soft shoe. When you go then across to the trail shoe, we've utilized the same midsole, so the compounds are the same, that same channeling that I was mentioned is the same, so we're starting in that same soft place. We have included a Vibram outsole with this model just as we're looking to maximize the traction directly underneath the foot. I think as you come back to this one, and one of the things that we hear often about max cushion trail shoes is that they're great for those longer, slower trail miles, but that they can be a little bit of a hindrance in a more technical environment, when the trail gets a little bit choppy or you're going up and down hills. And I think one of the key things around the brief of this shoe is that we wanted to make sure that we maintained that high level of cushioning, but added some flexibility and gave some nimbleness to this product that would allow it to work in a more true technical trail environment as well.
Now, the Mortrow V3 is going to be the first of these shoes to come out. It's going to be coming out very shortly, and I've already gotten the shoe on my feet, and what stood out to me the most was how soft it is and how smooth it feels as you go through your gait. Can you talk a little bit more about the geometry in this shoe and what is going to set it apart from maybe the past couple versions?
Yeah, thank you. You actually reminded me there in terms of something that I didn't mention, and that's the additional rocker that we've added to the More V3. So we were building the overall sole shape of a slightly different rocker profile previously, and we've changed that to provide a greater rocker sensation in that shoe. And I think it's made a real massive difference. I think when you talk about these shoes, so much of the benefit is coming from the cushioning and that max stack height, but that feeling of constant momentum is maybe something that you might have felt like was lacking in the previous models, and it's definitely something that we've added into the shoe. And again, I think it's helped with the nimble nature, and it's helped to just feel a little bit more, again, maybe progressive and a little bit more interesting directly underfoot while maintaining, all the benefits of maximum cushioning.
Well, I think the More V3 is going to be my go-to when I'm just pounding out the miles, when I'm going long on the road. But when we look at the More Trail V2, what do you think this shoe is going to be best used for, and what trails is it going to excel on?
Yeah, again, I think we know that the space excels on, longer, less kind of technical trail environments, and I think that's really where these shoes are showing up with most of their benefits in terms of protection and, doing a job of making your legs feel better after loads and loads of miles, particularly when it comes to longer races. But I do think there's that added element where the shoe's going to do a nice crossover job in a more technical environment and really give you the ability to use one shoe in both of those instances that maybe hasn't existed before now.
Well, New Balance is bringing so much amazing footwear in 2021, and I think the More V3 and the Mortrow V2 were two additions that I was not expecting, but the improvements are fantastic, and I think they're going to be perfect additions to your lineup. If you're looking to get both of these shoes on your feet, when can you have them?
The More Road V3 is early in May, and then this one will be coming out in October of 2021.
Perfect. Well, I'm excited to get these shoes on my feet. If you're looking to get the More series on your own feet, it'll be available at runningwarehouse.com.